When Venus is up in the 10th house, it's no longer about projecting your image and making a good image. It's about projecting your status. I'm paid well. I got the best job. I got the nicest office. I'm wearing good clothes. I have a culture. I have a certain refinement and I have dignity and honor around what the position that I have, the status that I have. You got to pay me well enough. I'm not staying in this job. I'm going to almost lord it over everyone else because I'm going to make a status of something I like or something I don't like. But it's going to affect people. You know, you ever had a boss that when they like you, they're making all sorts of promises and doing all kinds of things, and then the minute they don't get what they want, they're blaming everybody around them? They're still making their Venus, using it in power, but they're getting honor or dishonor. And it affects their capacity to work. So Venus is attracting honor, attracting status, attracting being established, having nice things, being able to go places. It's going to attract that. But don't forget the negative. If you don't have it, you're going to see an opposite behavior around it. So you can't assume you're seeing this one behavior of someone and they're not all the other different sides or facets of Venus. You're just seeing this one in this context. If Venus is over in the 7th house of relationships, it's important to be in relationship, be liked in a relationship, to attract someone you like. So there's a strong focus in being beautiful and sociable and being related, being married, or getting the best choice of who to be with you. So the issue of partners. So someone with a Venus in the 7th house that really is focused on who am I attracting, who am I getting, is very different than someone who's focused on what do I like, what am I putting out, what do I want? I'm into these things. What I'm into is not the same thing as, hey, what are you into? What's happening? It's not the same. It's projecting rather than responding. But each one can still be dynamic and I'm being this. I really love my marriage. I love my relationship. I hate my marriage. I hate my relationship. But it's the focus of where my values are. And my self-worth will come out of this. My sense of contentment will be working through. But to get a sense of contentment or peace, you got to go through the high and the low. The attraction and the repulsion is somewhere in between. And you'll get the extremes coming out in these houses. You'll see the extremes. And that person's struggling to get their bearing there. So you get someone being totally repulsive in a certain area, and you know they're just reacting. They really want to be the opposite, but don't know how to get out of there. And then maybe it's the Mercury, maybe it's other things that are affecting that. When Venus is down in the 4th house of personal security, I want to have a home. I want to have a nice sleep. I want to be comfortable when I'm sleeping. I want to have nice things in my home. I want to feel culture. I want to feel beauty and loved and appreciated personally, not socially, just at home. Come on to my house, have a cup of tea. I don't want to go to the restaurant. I don't want to go. Come on to where I'm being in my place. That's where I'm happy in my own home, my own place, or not. But if someone's just looking for a home or a partnership, it's easy to get married, get a home, have the kids stay home. It's not the same thing as going out to work. It's not the same incentive. Now, men or women can both have this. This isn't something just male or female. It's individual. But in our society, generally, if a woman's wanting to be at home or wanting to be married, be at home, those are trade-offs you can make because you get what you want and someone else is taking care of the other things. But if you're a man and you're expecting that, you're expecting the woman to carry everything and you can just be related, be at home, well, it's a little more out of, I'm sure it happens a lot, but it's what settles. Venus always, as soon as you get what you want, if you get too much of what you want, it spoils it. If you don't get enough, it's hungry and lustful. So finding a balance wherever it is, finding some elegance wherever it is, that's the challenge of Venus. Find some elegance at home with the kids screaming and you have to feed this kid, you have to clean up the diaper, you have to be doing, how do you find some beauty in that? But there's a need to find yourself. It'll change to another level. It's important in self-worth. They'll love me. I'm doing it. And the valuation morphs. When you put the Venus in the succeeding houses of having and using, well, having things and using things, Venus is always trying to collect and have things anyways, get what it wants. So it's almost easier to see it here. Venus in the second house wants to have money, wants to have resources, and wants to use what it has. This is mine. So you have a strong sense of what's mine and what's not mine. And the values will tied up to how much of what's yours do you have and how much do you wish you had or don't have. All of that will come up through the area of my personal talents or resources. And that includes money. Mine and how I use it. When you project it out, depending on what money you have and what things you're using, you project this out through your identity. It attracts certain friends. If you're poor, it's hard to have rich friends. If it's rich, it's hard to have poor friends. Just an example, not the only one, but the Venus, as it comes up to the 11th house, I want to have friends. I want to be loved. I want to have parties. I want to have social cultural events where beautiful things are happening. I want to be liked for having this cultural things around, and you can come and be part of it. It's a peer pressure socially, and then Venus becomes attracted to that. It wants this. It likes it. It likes it. It doesn't like it. Like this is wanting to have friends. Well, wanting to have friends is very, very different than wanting to have lovers. A friend and a lover are two different things. It's very difficult to make a friend a lover or a lover a friend. You usually lose one to get the other. So if you want to have a lover and you meet someone, you want to be their lover and say, no, I just want to be friends. That's a nice thing to just be friends, but it's insulting if you're trying to be the lover. That's a nice way of it's a refined way of getting the insult, not other than get lost, you dog, or whatever. So the succeeding being having friends, having social involvements, having people to influence, having status, making things more beautiful, making things nice. She pulled up that party. Oh, this band is coming, or these things are going on. Wow, let's go to it. Being in touch with those trends of what's contemporary or cultured or not. And this is the Venus. But still, a gang of skinheads, old example, but a gang of skinheads would have their own disassociative culture or goth. They have their own sense. We have this culture. We don't know, we're not there, but we have this. And there's still a peer pressure. And so the Venus can work out in whatever level of society someone's living at. There's a way of seeing how that person wants to. I want to be appreciated socially. So I want to do things that are nice that affect you, and I want people to like me, and I want to have friends that I'm liked by. Okay, or I like you and I want you to be my friend. It's projecting. When you get to the setting side and above, you have the 8th house of shared resources. We have this much money. We have the mortgage. We've each put money in it. Your mom's going to die, and I'm going to get a lot of a fortune. My parents, I'm not getting nothing from, but you'll be able to put the money in, and we have this, and we'll pay for these debts, and we're having these things. So there's a tendency to attract money and appreciation from others, from a partner. There's a tendency, I don't want to be Venus in the 8th, it would imply kind of luck. In the 7th house too, it's kind of, I attract what I want in a relationship, but in the 8th house, I attract good financial situations that I can do business well, and it's not like I attract a poor partner that's mismanaging things. It can happen, but generally, before you look at aspects or anything else, it's attracting social situations, person where you trust someone else, who put energies together, and you're getting some benefit out of it. We invested in this stock. Wow, it paid off. Negatively, why did we buy the Briex? Like the stock or whatever. Just it's kind of based on consensus, and it's the social. We have these things. Let's help. If we're well off, how do we help the community? So there's a social sense in this social having too. It's above the horizon. What are we doing with our resources? So it would be a threat if you had a certain amount of money in a bank account. You had a joint bank account, and one person went out and just without asking, took out most of the money and bought a car they wanted, rather than saying, can we get a car or not get a car? Because they know if they ask, they're not going to get it. But sometimes each person can get a car, it just takes time. But sometimes the energy togetherness are not always used evenly. But having Venus there, you're attracting that trust, that sharing. You're attracting You're inviting people to invest in you and with you. Okay. And when someone does trust you and invest with you, boy, you feel you belong. You feel that's really worthwhile. That's what it's about. Someone Venus in 12 isn't thinking someone else investing in me. I want to do this myself. I don't want someone to invest in me. I want to make it happen for myself. Someone with Venus in the 5th house, the having feelings, the performance, the having feelings. It's my performance. How do you like me so far? It's your romantic kind of house. If you have Venus there, I want to be satisfied. I want to be liked. I'm the lover. I want to be appreciated. So it can be very artistic. It can attract kids. I want to have kids. I want to be loved. Kids will always love them. Like but it's my performance. I'm playful. Aren't I beautiful? Don't you like me? And I'm going to get things like I could sing, and people like my singing. I have something I can perform with. It can be sex. It could be an artistic thing. It can be all kinds of different things that you can perform with. But it's my feelings, and I value my feelings. I want to use them to get appreciation, so people will like me for what I feel and how I value things. It's not a social thing, it's a personal thing to get attention from oneself. That's very different than someone with Venus in the 11th house trying to get attention with other people, being part of the team. We're part of the team. Let's get a whole group shot or anything like this. Venus in the 5th house, okay, group shot, but really, if I can stand in the center, this will work fine. They're geared to get the attention for themselves a bit more.